Morning, folks. We want to introduce you to our AMK 77 2x72 knife grinder with its optional hollow grind fixture. We happen to have this set up on our VFD, our variable frequency drive unit, but this will also work on our single speed system here on the right. Okay. The basic system on the hollow grind is that you take your main arm here for your work table and you relocate it under the bottom of the main support beam. We have another one on here just to show that it's already mounted, but you will take your standard one and remount here. We're using one just to speed up the process here. The next thing that you're going to wind up doing on this system is you will load up your hollow grind fixture. Your hollow grind fixture has axial movement and it has radial movement and has axial movement. So you can get pitch forwards and backwards, and you get rotation left and right. You also have adjustment up and down on the system where you can dial in and move the whole unit up and down to get it on the center line of a wheel. You also have the capability to get more adjustment up and down just by dropping the main locating pin here and moving it up and down. But predominantly you'll use your dial here to bring in your height correctly. Once your height's set and you got that height set on the center line of the wheel, you will then want to take a knife blank, and I'm using a piece of 1018 steel right now. We use a toolmaker's clamp. It acts as a stop for the heel of the knife. They work great for that. I'd suggest that if you buy one of our hollow grind fixtures, go ahead and pick up a toolmaker's clamp. They make a great stop for your knives. You will then drop in your knife. You will then adjust the two outer ears by loosening the 1/4 20 bolts here. With a 3/16 Allen wrench, you'll loosen those two. You'll adjust those in. You will then loosen the main backer support plate with a 1/4 inch Allen wrench, and you will adjust all of those in to hold your knife blank. To add clearance so that your knife blank will come out, if you'll drop a piece of paper in between the knife blank and the main large backer here, that gives you about a 4/1000 clearance, so you have enough movement to get your knife in and out so it doesn't lock up on you. Once you have the two ears in and you have the large backer in, and then at that point you will lock down the two outer bolts, which locks down these two ears here. Now at that point you can start off by leaving the center bolt loose so you can dial in for taking off more material. Okay? At this point you want to pull out your knife blank and you want to line up across the face of the grinding wheel. You want to get your knife blank square to that belt. Once you have the knife blank square, I like leaving the knife blank in and taking up against the wheel and then sighting down through the top, looking for light clearance and adjusting my pitch, my rotation this way to allow for the correct clearance I need and to make sure that the blade is running parallel to the face of the belt. Some of that will need to be adjusted as you grind, and you'll see that it might be heavy on the back or the front. You may need to change that angle slightly to make sure that it's even. The next thing I do is I set my angle this way to get the correct grind that I need as far as how high up I'm going to come on my blade. The next thing that we want to do then at that point, and I like using a protractor, and this one happens to be a magnetic one, and I'll set that protractor out here on the edge, and then I will adjust my pitch for the angle that I've calculated. In the case of this one, I think we're probably set around 3 to 4 degrees. Once that angle's set and I've got that all locked down, then the last thing that I will do is I will go and make sure all of my bolts, my locking bolts, are all snug for my up and down, for my pitch forwards and backwards, and for my rotation left and right. We want to make sure those are good and locked down tight so we get no movement when we're grinding our knife blank. Then at that point, to do a grind, I will then turn my machine on. I will drop my blade. In this case, I'm going to drop my blade down from the top, and I will pull it out. Then I will change. I will drop it on the left side and then pull it out. This way I can keep my blade symmetrical by taking even movements. Maybe I'll drop it down and take 2 movements on the right and then 2 on the left. But after I've done those 2 right hand and left hand movements, then what I'll do is I will loosen, and I'll typically leave my wrench in the center locking bolt. I'll only loosen the center locking bolt, and I will now adjust it about 1/8 of a turn in and lock it and do it again. What you've done is that now you're moving the whole 2 ears and the backer, that complete assembly, you're moving it in and out as a unit. It will go straight in and out as a unit. And now you can have even movements for the right and left side of your blade when you're taking materials off. Okay, we're going to turn this on, make a couple passes just to show you how it operates. Again, we got our center bolt locked down. Turn our machine on. And we do our grind. Again, to take more off, we'll loosen. About 1/8 of a turn at most. And we'll do our grind. That's our AMK 77 hollow grind fixture. It will work on either the VFD model or the single speed. We have these, typically they're in stock and ready to be shipped. If you buy the grinder and the hollow grind fixture together, we do a lot of testing. We'll actually set up your hollow grind fixture and actually grind on it to make sure everything is functioning correctly, as we do with all of our optional items, but we will do one specifically for your system to make sure everything is all functioning correctly. This is mainly made, the hollow grind fixture works really well for those that want to do production, where they want to do 10, 12, 15 knives blanks of the same type at a time. They can get all their rough grinds done so much faster on a hollow grind fixture. But since it takes you probably somewhere between 20 to 30 minutes to get the system set up, tuned in, and ready to go, you want to make sure you're using it predominantly to do production, so you're doing many blades at that setup, because at that point that you're setting it up on your 2x72, you want to make sure you're utilizing your resources, which is your manpower, till its fullest. So the best way to use it is to do multiple knife blades at one time versus doing one knife blade at a time. We pride ourselves again in all the quality that we build into our systems. You will definitely get a lot of use out of this hollow grind fixture. If you want to know more about AMK and our whole product of knife making equipment, go to amkknifemaking.com or call us at 937-344-4488. Thank you.